confusion, clouds inside your head, involving all my energies until you visited. With your eyes of porcelain and a blue, they shock me into sense. You think you're so illustrious, you call yourself intense. It's an orangey sky. Always it's some other guy. It's just a broken lullaby. Bye, bye love. Bye, bye love. Bye, bye love. Bye, bye love.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to our first event for Native American Heritage Month. Thank you to everyone that came and to support our student presentations. On your table, you'll see a printout of a poster. There's going to be a few changes, unfortunately. So I will send out an email, hopefully today, but by tomorrow, that the museum trip on the 4th is going to be pushed back to the 11th. Okay, so more details on that. Tomorrow night, Killers of the Flower Moon. First 30 students and employees that come will get a free ticket. So showtime starts at 7 p.m. at Sky High Theater. So if you can be there a little bit early just to make sure that we get everyone in by 7, that would be great. And then one other announcement I wanted to draw your attention to was our Food Fix Friday, this Friday. So you'll see that there's 2 QR codes. Food Fix Friday really depends on the support from Adams to donate food, so our community. And if that you scan for the sign-up sheet, you'll see a list of items that are needed. And it would be great if you can share this with your department and your division in your area, and even if you're not able to attend, if there's something that you could donate, that would be great. The second QR code is a sign-up for Navajo tacos that our students will be making, authentic, delicious. And that's a fundraiser for their group. So each taco is $10, I believe, yeah. And if you can sign up, and all the proceeds will go to NASSA. So without any further ado, I would like to go ahead and hand it over to our presenters for today. And I'll let you introduce yourself. How's that?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself in Navajo first. She'esh Nujani Rose Bigayan She, Glazatlana Nishla, Lakadana Bashichi, Yadina Etachi Nidashache, and Toda Chitni Dashanella. So what I said was that was hello, and the first clan is from my mother, which is the Many Goats clan, and my second clan is from my dad, which is the Reed people, and then the third clan is the maternal grandfather clan, which is the Giant People, Red Running into the Water People clan, and the last one is my parental grandfather's clan, which is the Bitterwater clan. And I'm from the Navajo Nation, and this is just a picture of Monument Valley. So I'm going to be talking about my experience on the Navajo Nation and how I grew up and what it's like to come from the Navajo Nation. So growing up, I moved from the Navajo Nation to Phoenix, then to Salt Lake City, then to a little town in Wyoming called Rock Springs. Then I moved back to the res for my high school years. And then when I was on the res and all throughout those years, I played volleyball, basketball. I did track and field, and I did club volleyball. So I also was a part of the National Honor Society and Future Farmers of America, which was a big program in my town. And so on this picture is me receiving my FFA state degree, and I was the only one in 2021 of my high school class to receive that. And then this is a picture of like a little area that was cleared so we could practice for our Starlings Club. And because of COVID, we couldn't practice indoors, so our coach had us practice outside in the sand. And then on the top is just a picture of my little sheep camp that I go to almost every day with my cousins to feed horses and our cattle and our sheep. And then this second picture on the middle is just a picture of my basketball team. And then the bottom is the pictures of my volleyball club team. And this club team took us to many different places like San Diego, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Phoenix because we kept winning. And then from sports and growing up and watching bigger people from all over the res and come and join clubs and stuff, it really got to showcase how far sports can take you, and it can take. Some people only saw it as the only option of their way to go be off the res and be successful off the res, because getting scholarships and stuff for colleges. And then traveling to different schools through my younger years, I saw that coming back to the res, we were 2 grade levels behind, and we also there was like no technology on the res. And for the clubs, for FFA and NHS, we were heavily involved in the community. And then the last bullet point, it just talks about the students that were praised for joining FFA, which is the Future Farmers of America Club, which has to do with agriculture. And they were praised because it was like a lot of exposure to knowledge of taking care of your livestock and learning how to grow stuff. So that's basically what the Navajo culture is about taking care of your animals and like living off the land. And this is a picture of the Navajo Nation. So we have Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. And I don't think any of the part of the Navajo Nation goes into Colorado, but it covers the four corners, and mostly in Arizona. And this small part right here that's not colored in is the Hopi Reservation. And the Navajo Nation is the largest Native American reservation in North America. And I want to talk about how I found Alamosa community, the SLV community, was way similar to where I grew up. It's like a lot of small communities, and it's like really rural. And so we had to go to, from where I live, it's called Kayenta, and it's like bigger than most places on the reservation. It has a grocery store, a gas station, like 2 gas stations, and a few eating spots for like McDonald's, Burger King, and like all those fast food chains. And so we have to go, the nearest Walmart is like 2 hours away, and then the nearest like doctor is like 2 hours away for like even like for your animals, so like veterinarians. And to get like proper vehicle services, you have to travel 2 hours away. So you have to plan for that trip. You have to know what day you're going. You have to set aside the money, and it's just a long process. So that all happened before COVID, and when COVID came, it was like 2020, and there was like a mandate that locked down the Navajo Nation. So so our culture was threatened, and we had no gathering because that was prohibited. Then a lot of people lost their jobs. They lost the livestock because grandmas and grandpas were getting sick, and they were carrying our culture with them, and they were getting sent to the hospital. So no one else was there going out into the sheep camps or taking care of the livestock. And the lockdown mandate, and then there was a lack of health care. So it was just a very sad time for the Navajo Nation because we just lost a lot of our culture. And beyond high school, when I graduated, I chose Adams State because I came here every summer for the volleyball camp. So on the top left, your top right, you'll see my progress. So I went to the volleyball camps, and I used to be one of the high school students or high school players coming here. But now I was in 2021, that was a picture of me with the Adams State team teaching the younger high schoolers. So that was very monumental for me. And I also chose Adams State because Mount Blanca is Mount Cisnagini. It's one of the 4 sacred mountains. And I thought it was cool that that Adams State was right on the border of one of the 4 sacred mountains. And then you'll see a picture of Casso during the homecoming parade. And then this picture is from NASSA and how we set up a protest for the ICWA Act. And then the last picture is from the Gathering of Nations, a trip that NASA took last year in April. And coming here was a culture shock because I come from a 4-generational home, which means that we have our grandparents' mothers, and then we have our grandparents, and then my mom, and then me. And then on top of that, my oldest sister had a niece, so she has a baby, so it's like 5-generational home. And coming here, in the dorms, the dorm was like a really big room. The size of that dorm was what I shared with my 3 sisters. So when I got a big room to myself, it was shocking, and I didn't know what to do with the space. So most of the time it was just empty. But luckily I didn't spend most of my time there. And the cultural expression, there was a lack of it for me because I couldn't say native slang, like the word nay after every sentence. Or if I would say it, it'd be like awkward. And then that was my experience with my friends, and then I became part of CASA, and I got to know more people. And for the teacher part, on the Navajo Nation, it feels like the teachers aren't very engaged with the students, and most of the teachers are grandparents and grandpas trying to get a paycheck every month, so they're not really connecting with the students. But here at Adams State, all the teachers care, and like they put their effort in to making the students' life and education more comfortable for them. And now I was the first in my family to receive an AA degree and soon a BA in my family. My mom just told me that like 3 days ago. And this is my third year at Adams State, so I'm a junior. And I'm majoring in business administration, agribusiness, and then I get a second degree in secondary education. And now I'm the president of NASSA. This is a quote I still have up from the Indigenous Peoples Day. It says, "Every day is the right time to honor Native American culture, strength, fortitude. Every day is an opportunity to tell the world we are here, we are still here." And I just want to mention like a list of series of like TV shows that are available on like Hulu, Netflix, and stuff like that. So we have Dark Winds, which is the new and recent one. And then The Reservation Dogs is like a comedy, and like it also talks about the like dark past behind Native Americans, which was released in 2021. And then Basketball Nothing was what I was referencing, was how Native Americans only have that option of playing sports to get off the res to like receive college scholarships. And then there's The Trail of Tears, which is like a historical event. And then I have a list of films, which is The Lakota Nation versus the United States, which was released in 2022. Then Indian Horse, which talks about a dark past, and it's very touching and heartfelt. And then there's Wind River, which is also a very dark movie. And then there's Off the Res, Bury My Heart at the Wounded Knee, Turquoise Rose, Wind Talkers, which talks about the Navajo Code Talkers, and then Smoke Signals. And that's all I have for my presentation. And here you'll find my email, our Adams State NASSA fundraising site, and our Instagram. And is there any questions? Oh yeah, Heidi. One thing I was thinking about recently was I went back home to go for a ceremony, and I sent into Student Affairs that I was gone for a cultural reason. I had to be home for that time. It was like 4 days, you can't do anything. And so I sent that in, but I never got a reply back if it was accepted or dismissed. So I think considering the cultural background of people, I think the ceremony and stuff should be excused. I think that's one big thing. Jeff.
After you graduate, are you going to go back to the reservation, take your degree over there, and try to inspire some students for ag business goals?
Yeah, so I plan on going back to the reservation. I don't know if I'll do it immediately because I still want to have like the cultural background for like non-native students, and I want to know how to treat them and like how to accommodate their needs too. So I'm actually majoring in like agriculture education, which is not a like specific degree here, but it's my counselors are working with me to achieve that. And so I want to go back to Navajo Nation to become an agriculture teacher. Yeah.
Which one do you push? Yat A, hello. Shkado Shidene Lillian Campbell Yanishia. Chishanishlim, Bilagana Bushishchin, Kintlachitni Dashishche, Bilagana Dashanale. I am born for the San Carlos Apaches. My father is Bilagana, he's white, and my grandpa is Navajo, and my Nollies, my dad's parents, are white. I grew up on the Navajo Nation my whole life. I've lived there, went to school there, and yeah, I know a lot of the teachings. I participate in the ceremonies and stuff like that. And so my presentation today is one of the like ceremonies, but kind of a game that is typically played in the winter time after the first snowfall. It is the Navajo shoe game. It is Keshjet. What is the Navajo shoe game? It's played in the winter. The idea, or I guess the concept, the main thing, is a yucca root. It's like a ball, so it's a yucca ball root. There's 4 moccasins and a stick that you hit the ground with, and then the idea of the game is trying to guess where the yucca ball is. It's kind of the representation of how our day and night cycle began and the stories behind it. And as we play the Navajo shoe game, it's basically to gain better ke, which means families and communities, and you're just building a better bond, and you're getting your community together, and you're having a fun time. And as we play it, we're reminded of the Navajo stories and our Navajo philosophy of just why we're here and our stories behind it. My presentation isn't really me talking. I have 2 YouTube videos that I want to show to you guys. The first one is going to be like a cartoon-like YouTube video, and that's going to be the story of Keshjet and how it became to be. Behind the YouTube video is going to be about the animals. So it's going to be cartoon animals, and it's going to be the night animals and the day animals, and they're trying to play and figure out who's gonna win to see if it's going to be night all day, or night, or is it gonna be sunlight out. So it's kind of gonna be animals playing. It's a cartoon video, and then it's going to it's the game. There's going to be a human in there, and then the coyote. The coyote is known as kind of like always wanting to be on the winner's side. So the coyote switches sides from the day and night. It goes to whichever side is winning, and that's why we call like the coyotes the people who are tricking people or something like that. No, it's the other one. It's that one. Yep. And it's going to be 8 minutes. Not this video, but in total it's 8 minutes, so it's not too long. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Oh,
Okay, so that's kind of like the cartoon part of the shoe game. I grew up going to shoe games with my brothers, and my brother's friend, he would call my brother and be like, let's go to shoe game, and it typically happens in the night. And it is like it's a game, so it's for people to come around and play. And so I grew up going, but I never actually played just because people would pick on you. It's a laughing game. The next video is a recent video, and it's how people play today and how the game will be playing. So as the winter is beginning, back on the Navajo Nation, a lot of people will be playing their shoe games. It's either played at the chapter house, which is kind of, I don't know if you guys know what a chapter house is, but it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like where our community meets up for community things, community concerns. If a funeral needed to happen, we could go to the chapter house. It's kind of just like our own little support system there, just because we have the Navajo Nation government and everybody is divided into their own chapters and their own little sections. And so this is a 5-minute long video. This is going to go back and forth. You're going to see how they play it, the yucca, and you're going to see the people who are going to play in the game. You have to give them a yucca ball stick. And so everybody participates. They have yuccas. You're going to see it. It's really cool. And being in the environment, being in the chapter house, being in the Hogan, it's a heartwarming feeling, and it's fun to play. And so, yeah. So the idea of the string game was just to get community together and to hang out and stuff. Oops. Yeah, so it's played a lot only in the winter time, and it's a really fun game. It's really entertaining. It's a time to laugh and stuff like that. And so that's my presentation, because as it's getting to winter. And on the paper, it does say on the 15th we're doing string games. String games is another game only played in the winter, and you can play it when you're bored or something. And if you come to our workshop, we'll teach you some fun string games, because I grew up on string games as well. So it's fun as the winter is approaching. A lot of our ceremonies are done, and it's cool. So thank you. Are there any questions? Yes. Well, it is like a game. Well, it's like the trickster, the person hiding the ball hides the ball. And they purposely do it to trick the other person and pick on the other person. And so being the youngest of three older brothers, I'm tired of getting picked on all the time. So I never played, only because I was like, I know they're going to pick on me because everybody knows everybody. And I was like, I just know it. So I never participated. But when you understand the concept of the game and you're listening to the music and you watch people try and see which one it is, like in that video, the guy kept hiding the yucca ball in the same boot, and everybody tried picking which one it was the whole time it was in the same boot. And so it's really fun. That's the only reason why I never played. But I like watching. I like going to the shoe games. It's like fun. It happens at night too, so that's another thing. It's really fun. But yeah. Oops, I'm so sorry. Hi. It's because of the groundhog, when the snow falls, it has something to do with how the ground freezes and the animals under the ground and the things we're supposed to do and the ways we're supposed to live our lives. There's certain ways, and it's our whole Navajo philosophy. I grew up being taught that, so it's just something I continue to follow. So yeah, and that's the whole part of the string games. When there's no more snow and it's going into the next season, you're supposed to put your string games on a piece of sage and let the groundhog come and get it. And it takes all of the string games you were playing prior all winter long. And so that's kind of like, there's stories and a whole philosophy behind it, and that's what I grew up playing.
I believe for the string games, when you make the string games, it resembles the spider web. So when you play it during the summer or something like that, the spider might think it's their home. So you're inviting the spider into your home. And when you play it during the winter, that's when they all go away. Heidi.
So that's like the yuccas. It's like the yucca thing. So you get a yucca plant, and that's your token to play. So you give them how many yucca like stems you want in order to play, and if you win, like you get them back. Yeah. Well, I really loved her ideas, understanding that we have ceremonial things to do, and those come with requirements that we can't wash ourselves, do anything, use like silverware, knives, things like that. I would say support that more, and then just understanding like especially as freshmen come in. I'm not a freshman anymore, but when freshmen come in and they're coming from the Navajo Nation, they're behind the curriculum, way behind it. And I would say just understand that and be more open to help them. But as I'm now a sophomore here at Adams State University, I can say my writing has improved 100%. I'm a lot better at my public speaking, making PowerPoints, presenting. I've learned a lot being here at Adams State University just within the past year and a half. But when I first came here, it was very struggling because I was way behind and everybody was way up here, and I felt like I was beating myself up because I was not with them. But I have had that support from a lot of professors here, and that's why I've continued to stay here, and I'm doing so well. So, yeah. Well, the only time I can think of, because again, my family is not really part of the Native American church or stuff like that. So the only ceremonies that I really participate are in like games like this, which is like you can go and then do whatever you want after and stuff like that. And then my puberty ceremonies, there's puberty ceremonies that go on, both in my Apache cultural and my Navajo cultural, that make you do things after the ceremony, and that's basically whenever somebody transitions into a woman, and that can't really be told. Those ceremonies can be done. For the Navajo tradition, it can be done anytime in the year. For the Apaches, it's only done in the summer. So if you got your menstrual in the wintertime, you would have to wait a whole year to have your ceremony. But that's like still super young. In college, I can just say, for me, it would be whenever it comes up. I'm not too sure what her answer would be, but that's what it would be.
for like when you have like a blessing ceremony, for like when you just there's like ceremonies that you can go home and just go see the medicine man real quick, and then you can come back home to college, but you can't cut anything, you can't use scissors, you can't use knives, you can't tear things open, you can't shower for 4 days. And there's like a whole list of things that you can't do, and like going to class and like just living, you need to tear stuff open and cut stuff open, so you have to ask people to do it. And sometimes people don't have roommates, or like they're not close with anybody to help them, just basically live. So they prefer to stay home so that family are there for them. So for those 4 days, they're just stuck at home. Yeah. I've only had to ask for one this year, and I haven't heard a response back from if it was excused or not. And I know there's like a 3-day rule of like you have to submit an absence for like within the 3 days, and then if you submit it after that, it's unexcused or something like that. But for the puberty ceremony for the Navajos, you have to when you get your menstrual, you have to do it within like 2 weeks or 4 weeks. You have to do it like immediately, and like even if someone in your family dies for like a funeral, you have to do the funeral within that 2 weeks. And those ceremonies are 4 or 8 days long. So, and there's like also during the funeral you have a blackening, which is they just put ash all over your body, and you just have to be like covered in ash. So yeah.
I think that's it. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Najoni and Lily, for presenting just a little bit about NASSA and games and some of your heritage and culture. So please, please, please come out on Friday to the Casa House for Food Fix Friday. And if you can donate some items, please go ahead and click on that QR code to sign up. And you can also order Navajo tacos. Anything I'm missing? I think we're good. And I hope to see some of you tomorrow night at Sky High Theater for the movie. Thank you.